Adventure starts with the right gear, and it all starts at shackshop.us. From stylish women's swimsuits and premium camping tents to paddleboards, underwater drones, and dependable dinghies, we have everything you need for your next outdoor adventure. Whether you're exploring the water or relaxing on shore, gear up with quality products at unbeatable prices. Visit shackshop.us today and make every adventure.
Minnie Driver says she's grateful to be alive. After terrifying car accident in France, Minnie Driver says she is grateful to be alive after surviving what she described as a really bad car accident on a country road in France.
The 56-year-old actress revealed the frightening experience in an emotional Instagram video, appearing in a neck brace and explaining to fans that she was back in London after initially sharing updates from Paris. Driver said the accident happened several days earlier while she was traveling with her friend Ben. According to the actress, another vehicle failed to stop at an intersection and entered the road at speed, resulting in a violent collision. The impact was serious enough that Driver and her friend had to crawl out of their vehicle. "We somehow walked out of it," Driver said in the video before correcting herself. "Well, we didn't walk out of it. We crawled out of it. But we did get out of it alive." For Driver, that distinction underscores just how frightening the crash was. Although she described herself as physically fine apart from a sprained neck, she acknowledged that she remains deeply shaken by what happened. "I'm really in shock and sort of cry all the time, but I'm going to heal," she told her followers. The actress also opened up about the psychological aftermath of the crash, saying that her brain continues to replay the accident. She described that experience as difficult, but suggested that reliving the event may be part of processing the trauma. Her candid comments offered fans a glimpse into the emotional consequences that can follow a serious accident, even when someone escapes with relatively limited physical injuries. A crash that could have ended very differently. Driver said the accident occurred on a country road in the middle of France. According to her account, the vehicle she and Ben were traveling in collided with another car after that vehicle failed to stop at an intersection. Driver emphasized that the accident was not their fault. She said the other car was traveling at speed when it entered the intersection, leaving little opportunity to avoid the collision. The actress credited the vehicle she was traveling in with potentially saving both of their lives. Driver identified the car as a small Kia electric vehicle and praised its safety engineering, particularly its airbag system and structural design. "The reason I am not dead, honestly, is the car that we were driving," she said. She went on to describe the vehicle's safety features as astonishing, saying the car's design prevented the passenger compartment from simply collapsing during the collision. For someone who had just experienced a frightening crash, Driver's reaction was striking. Rather than simply discussing the damage or her injuries, she focused heavily on the technology that she believes protected her and her friend. She also thanked the South Korean automaker for producing a vehicle that she believes helped them survive. Perhaps the most emotional part of Driver's message came when she reflected on the fact that the outcome could have been dramatically worse. "I am so grateful to be alive," she said. The actress's comments appeared to come from someone still processing the shock of an event that happened only days earlier. Serious car crashes can leave survivors dealing with a complicated mixture of emotions. Even when physical injuries are relatively minor, the psychological impact can be substantial. Driver openly acknowledged that she has been crying frequently since the accident. Rather than hiding those emotions, she told her followers that crying has actually felt helpful. In the caption accompanying her video, she explained that her brain keeps replaying the crash and that the experience has been difficult. She described the process as something that appears to be necessary for her to process what happened. That openness resonated with many people who have experienced traumatic accidents themselves. Driver's message wasn't simply an update about a celebrity injury. It was also a personal account of what it feels like to suddenly confront the possibility of death and then realize that you survived. A thank you to those who helped. Driver also remembered the people who came to the scene following the crash. She specifically thanked a van driver who stopped and helped her and her friend before ambulances arrived. That seemingly simple act became an important part of her story. After a major collision, those first moments can be chaotic and frightening. Having someone stop, offer assistance, and remain at the scene until emergency responders arrive can make a major difference. Driver made sure that person received public recognition. However, she also mentioned another driver who apparently passed by the crash without stopping. Her response was characteristically philosophical. She thanked the person who stopped while also acknowledging the driver who continued on without offering assistance, describing the contrast as the light and the dark. The observation reflected driver's attempt to make sense of an experience that had clearly shaken her. Kia Driver, despite the seriousness of the situation, Driver still managed to find some humor in the aftermath. In her video, she joked about being a Minnie Driver, a playful reference to her name. Later, in an Instagram story, she took the joke even further, saying that even though she wasn't actually driving when the accident occurred, she was going to change her name to Kia Driver. The humor offered a brief glimpse of the personality fans have seen throughout Driver's career. It also served as a reminder that people processing frightening experiences can sometimes turn to humor as a way of coping. For Driver, however, the underlying message remained serious. She believes the vehicle played a crucial role in keeping her and her friend alive. Following Driver's post, fellow celebrities offered messages of support. Among those responding was music legend Lennox, who expressed sympathy and wished Driver a thorough and speedy recovery. Actress Naomi also responded, describing the incident as scary and sending Driver love and strength. The supportive comments added another layer to the public reaction surrounding the accident. Driver has built a long career across film and television, becoming one of the most recognizable British actresses working internationally. Her career has included acclaimed dramatic performances as well as major television roles. For many fans, seeing her appear publicly in a neck brace was a startling reminder of how quickly an ordinary journey can become a life-threatening event. The psychological side of Survival Driver's discussion of her emotional reaction may ultimately prove just as significant as her description of her physical injuries. She said she remains in shock and continues to cry. She also described her mind replaying the collision. Those comments highlight something that is sometimes overlooked after accidents. Surviving physically does not necessarily mean that a person immediately feels okay. A person can walk away from a crash without catastrophic injuries while still being deeply affected by the experience. Driver appears to recognize that she needs time to process what happened. Her willingness to talk about those feelings publicly could also help normalize the emotional reactions people sometimes experience following traumatic events. There is no indication from her comments that she expects an immediate return to normal. Instead, she appears focused on healing. "I'm going to heal," she said. Those words suggest a determination to move forward while acknowledging that recovery will take time. A journey that suddenly changed Driver had been sharing moments from Paris before the accident. The trip apparently changed dramatically after the collision. Instead of continuing her travels as planned, she found herself back in London wearing a neck brace and explaining the ordeal to her followers. The contrast between travel updates and an emergency return home illustrates how unpredictable life can be. One moment can completely alter a person's plans. Driver's story is ultimately one of survival. She and her friend were involved in a serious collision. They had to crawl from the wreckage, and Driver suffered a sprained neck. Yet they survived. For Driver, that fact appears to be dominating her thoughts. She isn't presenting the experience as something minor. Instead, she is acknowledging how close the outcome could have been to tragedy. Gratitude after a terrifying experience. Driver's story also raises broader questions about vehicle safety and the role modern automotive engineering can play during severe collisions. The actress believes the car's construction and airbags protected her and her friend from potentially fatal injuries. While individual crash outcomes depend on many factors, including collision speed, angle, vehicle design, and occupant position, modern safety systems are designed specifically to reduce the likelihood of catastrophic injury. Driver's first-hand experience left a powerful impression on her. For her, the vehicle was more than transportation that day. It became part of the reason she was able to walk or crawl away from the crash. And that realization appears to have changed her perspective. Looking ahead for now, Driver's focus is recovery. She has been candid about her neck injury, emotional state, and the difficulty of processing the crash. Her message to fans was not one of fear, however. It was one of gratitude. She survived. Her friend survived. And she has already begun the process of healing. The actress's decision to share the experience publicly also allowed her to thank the people who helped at the scene and express appreciation for the technology she believes protected them. At the center of everything is a simple realization: the accident could have ended very differently. Driver's words about being grateful to be alive therefore carry considerable weight. A frightening journey through the French countryside became an event that left her shaken, injured, and emotionally overwhelmed. But it did not take her life. As she works through the memories of the crash, Driver says she is going to heal. And for now, that may be the most important message of all. Minnie Driver survived a terrifying accident, escaped with a sprained neck, and is now facing the emotional aftermath one day at a time. Her story is a reminder that life can change in an instant, and that sometimes survival itself is something worth stopping to appreciate.